This free video is brought to you by the Team Topologies Academy. Our goal is to help organizations become more effective and more humane. If you find this video helpful, we would love for you to check out and recommend our Academy content.
Camille Fournier, head of platform engineering at Two Sigma, warns us that a captive audience leads us to believe that basic metrics for customer adoption are not interesting, which in turn leads us to ignore them, sometimes to our peril. After customer satisfaction, measuring adoption is probably the most important kind of metric in a platform as a product approach. Like customer satisfaction, we want to focus on trends rather than absolute values. Now that we've seen what the adoption lifecycle curve looks like, we can set expectations on how the adoption of a given service will evolve over time, and we can compare actual and expected metrics to track success and identify challenges. It shouldn't be complicated to get started with tracking adoption. Simply measuring how many teams have onboarded a given platform service versus the total number of teams can be a good starting point. If it's easy to track service adoption at the application level, then by all means measure that as well. Find natural measures of progress and change the metrics when more granular insights are needed. For example, we might have, say, 80% of teams onboard a service, but new insights show that only 30% of applications owned by those teams rely on that platform service. That might be an issue, for instance, if it turns out the platform service is brilliant for a small number of use cases, but unusable otherwise. Or it might just be that the service only actually makes sense for 30% of applications because of technology constraints, for instance. Whichever the case might be, we can only find out once we have the relevant data. If you think back to the Uswitch case study earlier in this course, they were actually measuring application traffic traversing the platform versus direct calls to Amazon APIs as a proxy measure for platform adoption. Along with adoption metrics, platform teams should be tracking related metrics that, when combined, allow them to make better decisions. For example, if the ratio of open to closed issues in a service or the number of help requests is going up during the early adopter stage, then we probably should refrain from making it more widely available to all the teams. Otherwise, we might see an increase in adoption followed by a sharp decline.